attention, please. Your attention, please. The following program is of immense artistic importance and should not be missed by anyone who is deeply concerned with the philosophical currents of his time. Your attention, please. The following program is of immense importance. Oh, thank you. Right, George, that's the way I always thought of it. Certainly, I appreciate that, gang. You overwhelmed me. I never knew you cared. Well, sit on my knee, honey, and just sit right here close on my knee, and I'll tell you a story or two. Hi, George. Get ready in there, Herbert. The time has arrived. Oh, play that thing, man. Oh, my God, let's hear it. Hit that thing. Hey, Ma, they're playing our song. Enough of that. Stop it. Hold it there. There are kids listening tonight. God, you can't give people an inch. Next thing you know, by the way, for those of you who are interested in what was going on, this was a request that we were playing specially for the mainland Chinese delegation, which just got into town. And I thought maybe a lot of you would like to hear an example of Hunan rock. That's particularly popular in the northern areas. And things are moving right along. I just say, for those of you who are interested in cultural developments of our time, I'm sure that includes all of you, right? Hi, George. Just the other day, some things I just have to spring on you slowly. I can't bring it all out at once. Here it is, yes. Pass this on to Herb. He'd be interested in this. There it is. I'm just going to point this out to you, Herb. I just got a Portugal stamp here. It's a brand new stamp. That's a cross-section of a co-axial cable. Yeah, it is. Really. It is. Nothing wrong with that. I don't have anything against coax. Carries a lot of garbage around the world, but outside of that, yeah. I wonder if there's such a thing as coaxial pollution. You know, night after night, Zsa Zsa Gabor and Victor Borge carry on their interminable, non-ending philosophical discussion of life. Are you suffering from irregularity, friends? Oh, that's just a headline I ran across. I don't know what that means. There it is. Just for. Did you see those two ladies talking about it on television? I like these delicate spots where they discuss various physical problems. I suppose that's all part of our time. I don't suppose when mankind is really perfected, there'll be any of those problems. Do you agree, Herb? You don't agree with anything, do you? I don't blame you. Herb's nervous. He's made a commitment, and that can often cause you to be nervous. Incidentally, speaking of commitments, I had a little straw in the wind here. Would you please bring me on my straw in the wind music, Herb, if you will, please? Thank you. Chandu, the magician. Now look, don't put me down for my taste. I mean, I do the best I can. Wolfsburg, Germany. There, hold it down. That's right. Wolfsburg, Germany. European. Little note here. This lab will be straws in the wind. Nervous straws in the wind. Wolfsburg, Germany. European car manufacturers are now in a crash program of developing a throwaway automobile costing $300 to $400 that can be scrapped after about 9,000 miles, a European magazine reported Tuesday. At the Volkswagen plant, they laughed at the idea. Well, of course, they laughed at the Volkswagen idea in the Studebaker plant a few years ago. I wonder where Studebaker is today. And now Volkswagen is laughing. The report in the magazine, Europa, said several manufacturers, including Volvo of Sweden, Toyota of Japan, were studying the idea, and one European firm had tested a prototype, which will be displayed at the New York Auto Show next spring. What better place to show a throwaway car than New York? Most cars are throwaway cars in New York. As a matter of fact, all you got to do is drive along the Long Island Expressway, and you'll pass dozens of them parked up there on the shoulder there with no hood, the crankcase removed. They tell me that some of the car vultures out there on the LIE are so good that they can take a transmission out of a car that's going 30 miles an hour. That ain't easy. But we're already in the era of the throwaway car in New York, so I'm not excited about it. But here's what Volkswagen said. What is it going to made of? Paper? Yeah, laughed a Volkswagen spokesman yesterday, nervously. What is it, paper? Here we are looking for ways to make cars safer, and safety costs money, I'll tell you. It's impossible to make cars cheaper as they are now, he added nervously. I think that's the attitude of all manufacturers. Believe me, there's absolutely no truth in this as far as Volkswagen is concerned. You don't mind if I lay my Greek chorus on you there, do you? Europa said the first model is not expected to be offered to the public until 1975. The magazine said the vehicle's body would be stamped from a single sheet of metal. Boom, body. Zap, motor. Pow, seats. Boom. It's out on the street. $300. It will have an inflatable rubber bumper all the way around it. You just blow it up, and, you can play bumper cars all afternoon on 6th Avenue, especially if it's only costing you $3. You can have a lot of fun with that thing. Quote this. Similarly, there is no need for replacement parts because the car will be built as a factory-sealed system. You can't fix it. Like a cigarette lighter, which cannot be refueled. Have you seen those, the throwaway cigarette lighters? You seen the throwaway flashlights? You seen the throwaway chicks? All right. It's the same process. Sort of like Kleenex. Has a set life expectancy. Quote, the engine will pull out like a drawer for such minor servicing as oil changes, the spokesman added. The Volkswagen man was asked at this. He said, I got to see that, he added nervously. Oh, yes. So tonight we would like to salute the Tower of Babel. Pulling it on. It's quiet there. As we stand here, over to our right, you'll see the tower. And you'll see that they're building it pretty good now. They're up to maybe 300 or 400 stories now. And they're working. We now drop in where we see a group of workers. And they're discussing the plans for the next story. Would you please bring it up? This is a very rare recording. You're listening to the air hammers as they're building the Tower of Babel. Modern technology has entered madness today. Even chaos is fully transistorized. That's it. And comes it. He's giving orders now, ladies and gentlemen, to the crane crew, which are about to hoist another load of rivets up to the 312th floor, which they're working on. See, trouble already, a strike. You hear the keening of the worker complaining that his coffee break is not long enough, since they have cut coffee breaks down in some plants to 3 or 4 hours, even in some extreme cases to less than 2. And so George Meany is making a statement on it. This is the shop steward, the Tower of Babel. Oh, there it goes. I knew you'd drop that. Damn it, that's what happens when those handles, the cheap handles. There it goes. Now they got the crane running. Yes, a load of bricks are coming up, the new throwaway bricks. Oh, how exciting. This documentary is produced by Roone Arledge and features a wonderful narration by Howard Cosell. I'm sure that you're enjoying it out there, folks. Bob Williams of the Post, a very concerned critic, will undoubtedly consider it a significant show. That's right, because now they're discussing the drug problem in lower Yugoslavia, which is getting terrible. And there's the keening of mankind once again, showing his disappointment. Life should be more than fried rice or fried lice. Rice should be more, certainly, than Howard Johnson. When is it going to start? Oh, the elder has entered the scene now. Since he is over 30, they are throwing pots and pans at him. His wife now is telling him, see, I told you, stay away from that crowd. And she is right. Here comes the clincher. Now the assembled chorus takes up the leitmotif, which is that there is possible better living through chemistry. Yes, this is a salute to the brave, heroic tractor drivers of Lower Szechuan, who, in spite of failing to make their quota for the last 5-year plans, 27 years running, are still at it. And now the entire orchestra, accompanied by Howard Cosell, and in the background playing a cello, we find Leonard Bernstein. And Samuel Gerlich is in on that. How did he get in on that? There he is now. He's doing a shadow play on the screen, making erotic shadow screen presentations which are enjoyed immensely by the crowd in the upper gallery who understand the significance of these things. Norman Mailer now enters playing his flute. He is accompanied in ceremonial dress by Gloria Steinem. George Plimpton, who is pretending that he is a second emperor in the Ming Dynasty, and he's doing a television series to prove it, is now coming out in his golden robes, holding aloft a rare, priceless Ming vase that he borrowed from the Lincoln Center. That occasional scrabble in the film is caused by censors that cut out some of the good parts, as they often do. See, it just keeps doing that now. Because they're getting down to what we here in the States call the nitty-gritty. Yeah, they're repeating it over and over again. And the Tower of Babel, please, one more last. And now as the credits come on the screen, Katharine Hepburn was played by Joanne Woodward. Cary Grant was played by Paul Newman. The entire production was under Sean Connery, who at one time was known to all of you cognoscenti as James Bond. He's taking his bows now. And if we stay long enough, we'll get the newsreels. Bring it on there, please. This was a G-rated production, suitable for general audiences. Well, of course... Oh, no, please. Please, would you please? The film is over, fellas. Come on now. Come on now there. Please. Okay, all right. So this is WOR New York. This is WOR New York, you guys. This is not an off-duty film house in the lower East 40s. Come on now. Only one way to deal with this crowd. Hit them with a commercial.
There's a promise for America, a bright new promise just for you. Chrysler Plymouth, coming through. You have made us first place dealers throughout all the USA.
Bring it up. I just like to sing with them, Herb. No.
With our guys, you'll be
Loud. Yeah, America's. There's hope for us all.
Chrysler Plymouth. Coming through.
See America's #1 Chrysler Plymouth dealers. Your Chrysler Plymouth dealers of New York, New Jersey, and Fairfield County. Act now while the price freeze is still on.
I'm adjusting the equipment here now. We're attempting to reach Woodbridge, New Jersey here with the poison gas. Hello, 1, 2, 3. Hey, we still have those flying birds with us here, which is kind of silly. But here's a grown-up man selling flying birds that you wind up by a little crank. And we have the revised copy here, for those of you who've been confused about what's been happening in the flying bird thing, because there was some wrong copy here, Herb. You'll be interested in this since you're an airplane cuckoo. You know, these flying birds, which are ornithopters, you've seen it. You wind it up, you can't believe it. You just wind this thing up. It's made out of a very light kind of plastic. It was designed by a Frenchman. It took him 3 years. His family went out at our bird while he was working on that flying bird. Oh, I'm sorry, Lee. She hates those puns. So do you, Herb. What is it? And every time I come up with a bad pun, your glasses cloud up. Is that because of your blood pressure or what? Something about puns really make people mad. Here comes another one out of the control, another one. It's very rare that an engineer leaves his other control room, comes running in with an angry look on his face. I told you, Herb, it just happened to me one week ago. An engineer left me right in the middle of the show and just never came back. We had to add a limit. Lucky I got a first phone. Transmitter, everybody left. Right. But, we got to get these birds on here. These birds, we have been saying that Leonardo da Vinci made these drawings, these great drawings and studies of birds. And this little plastic bird is based on those drawings. He's not so little. It's 16 inches wingspan, which is bigger than Da Vinci's drawings, by the way. But we're giving you the wrong dope. We said that he drew these drawings in 1440. You heard us say that once? Did we say that? Oh, boy, are we stupid. Actually, it was in the fall of 1482 that he did this. Didn't do it in 1440 at all. So the copy has now been totally revised, and if you've been under the misapprehension that your bird was designed in 1440, forget it. Looking at your bird, friends, it wouldn't be surprising that you would believe that, but it's 1483, and kills your story there. Now, if you'd like to order one of these great birds, great gift. Hey, that's great. If you have a very distinguished uncle, you know, the kind of guy who gets gray socks all the time for Christmas, give him a flying bird. I mean, if you got an uncle that runs, say, Chase Manhattan, and he gets very quiet foulard ties, you give him one of these red and yellow and brown flying birds, and you tell him that Mr. Lindsay likes them, which point, of course, will make it all right. They're $3.98 these birds go for, and they're worth every cent of it because they fly 600 feet, and they are guaranteed to fly, which, as we've often pointed out, is a lot more than your uncle is guaranteed to do. And they'll fly just about as high as you want them to fly. Just wind them up and off they go. And they come with special rubber bands. Flying birds. Send a check or money order for each bird, $3.98. A check or money order to Flying Birds. And that is spelled Flying Birds. B-U-R-D-D-S. There's 2 D's. Flying Birds. You know how to spell birds. What's the matter with you? Department S. And S is spelled just the way it sounds. That's a 3-letter word beginning with an A. P.O. Box 1909. P.O. Box, Post Office Box 1909, Grand Central Station, New York, New York. 10017. Boom, boom, ba-dum. Boom, boom, ba-dum. Hey, we had a fantastic time out at Woodbridge Shopping Center this past Saturday. Is there anyone listening tonight who was there? It was an incredible scene Saturday afternoon. Was anyone listening tonight? I probably lost every listener I got. But is there anyone listening tonight that was out there? It was wild. And we have to, it was a big book signing. We were out there signing copies of Wanda Hickey's Night of Golden Memories and other disasters, which, by the way, I am delighted to report to those of you who are interested in such things. A writer is inordinately, unfortunately, but it's the way it goes, that Wanda Hickey has been picked by the Reader's Digest World Almanac as one of the more interesting books published in 71. They only have a list every year that goes in their World Almanac, which is a world publication, and they pick about, maybe 10 or 12 books that they think are of lasting value. And I was very, very flattered to be on that list. That's an important thing, and I was delighted. So I want to, point out to thank them, although I don't know anybody there at the World Almanac or the Reader's Digest Almanac place. But nevertheless, we were signing books there and having a great time, and there was a terrible boo-boo happen. We mentioned a couple of nights before we went out there that the record store, the Sam Goody's there, in the Woodbridge Shopping Center would have copies of our new record, which just came out. There's a new record on the market. Just last week came out. And it's called the Declassified Gene Shepherd, and we've been working on it for over a year. And it's on the Mercury label, and they were supposed to have been shipped, and everything was all set, and they were going to have them out there for anybody who wanted them. Well, like everything else in this world, it got caught in a giant traffic jam or something, and the records never arrived at Goody's, although a lot of people did. And they were a little bugged, that is, the people. And people tend to take it out on you, and so a lot of guys in line were hollering, how come no records? Well, I don't know. So I just found out that they will be there this week if you, that's the way it goes. However, if you don't know about this, it is a new record, and it's in stereo, and it's all the stuff that I can't tell on the radio. That's why it's called the Declassified Gene Shepherd. I just thought I'd warn you. And a lot of it was done at Princeton, and it was recorded live last year at Princeton and various other places. It's kind of a big, strange record. It's funny, interesting thing. There's a couple of really great groups on it. It's a whole composite, like a multimedia record. Pretty obscene. Well, so is life, if you want to look at it that way. And one lady came up at this. Is there somebody that was at that thing? If anybody was out there, I'd like to talk to you. Some guy that was at Woodbridge at the shopping center. It was a wild night. But one woman came up and gave me a gift, and I didn't look at it until later. I got in the office, and there was this gift, and I opened it up, and some lady did some great writing paper, like note paper, and she had taken a woodcut from there's a photograph that is at the head of the column. I write a regular monthly column for Car and Driver, a magazine of special interest, as they point out. And there's a little photograph of me that was taken when I was out doing that television show, that series that I had last fall. And they used a cut from that show as part of this, as kind of like the logo on this column. And she took this picture and made it into writing paper. It's great. Her name is Lindy Anoskowitz, and she didn't include an address or anything. We'd like to thank her. I'd like to know also where we could get more of that. It's great. Wait a minute, we got a victim on here. Let's see, is it a kid or is it a real person? It's a person, huh? Not a kid. Hello? Yeah, you were there, huh? Oh, there it goes. No, he was not there. I know he said he was, see, but that's how he got on. See, he booted it. Oh, there's always one in every crowd. I said, are you there? No, but... And then he goes on. Sorry, kid, you blew it. Oh, that's, of course, the story of that kid's life, you could tell. I could tell, we have a pimple detector here. That's very interesting. Actually, it's an acne activator. And that's the technical term for it. It's a special device, which if I press the button here, Herb, see this green button over here on the control board? If I press that, it causes all latent acne cases among all the listeners who are listening to us at this time to suddenly become very active. And it's done with a combination of ultraviolet black light and ultrasonic waves, which we transmit on our transmitter. It's 50,000 watts, of course. Covers 38 states. So you either shut up, kid, or you're going to be itching for weeks. I'll press the acne activator button here. It's AA. Didn't you wonder what this is? Gambling uses a lot in the morning. He had all of Queens screaming like mad, putting Noxema all over their wheat cakes in the morning, trying to get away from it. Was that person there? Okay. Hey, speaking of the throwaway cars, can you imagine that's going to be really wild, throwaway cars. I kind of like that idea, You just they have a set mileage, As soon as the car hits 9,000 miles, like the old horse shay, it just folds up, and you just take it. See, it crunches up. A real throwaway car crunches up, so you just take it in your hands. You just ball it up and plunk, into the... Says help keep our city clean, and you throw your convertible away. You just crunch it up and throw it away. And, of course, Jerry Kretschmer then gets on TV and raises hell. They don't know what to do with all those crunched up throwaway cars. That's going to be another problem. But, speaking of throwaway stuff, whatever happened to those paper suits they were making for a while? You remember that big hoopla here about a year or two ago? The throwaway paper dresses. Do they still do that? Or did that go the way of Baby Jane Holzer? Don't you know who Baby Jane Holzer was? You do. Well, you have a mind for trivia, too, haven't you, friend? Baby Jane Holzer. Why, I have an autographed picture of Baby Jane Holzer. It was sent to me by her agent when she was big at the time of the Maharishi Krishna. Excuse me. Yes. Yes. Hello. Hello. Are you okay, kid? Are you all right? Now, come on, stand up. Quit falling over. Come on. Come on, I can tell you. I can hear you hitting your head on the bottom of the daybed. Get up. Oh, you got a cold. Were you at Woodbridge? That was quite a scene, wasn't it? You like that PA system? Well, yeah, a 30-watt system, but, we could have gotten a 700-watt system and blasted them right out of Orbach, which wouldn't have been quite the thing. But wasn't that a wild crowd? Yeah. Oh, it is. Oh, you mean what I did wasn't unusual then? Oh, I see. Thank you, kid. I knew you'd say something good. Right. Okay, kid. Thank you. What a crumb. What a dildock. A real Jersey type. I hang around the shopping center. Can you imagine spending your growing-up age hanging around the shopping center? Well, I guess that's replaced the candy store. Yeah, hang around the shopping center. Well, is there another one out there? Oh, well, get an intelligent one this time, huh? Not that type. I could hear that guy's jaw hanging all the way down by his knees. Certain people speak that way, You catch him off guard. You say, "Hey, you, Charlie." He goes, They get it. Yeah, that's the moment of getting his brain warmed up, getting it working. That type usually has a reflex moment of reflex, reflex action moment, maybe 4 or 5 minutes, upwards of an hour. They share with other cold-blooded reptiles, which is part of the. I don't think we've all evolved the same, but that's another thing. I don't. But however, I'm curious about this car throwaway car. Wouldn't you like to get the? Of course, I imagine a lot of guys are trying to get the dealership for the throwaway cars, and actually, they've actually had the dealership for the throwaway cars for years. What's the matter, Jerry? Is there another Woodbridge one out there? All right, one more, that's all. And then after that, try to get somebody who's got something to say instead of going, good. Yes. Yes. Oh, you were there. Okay. Did you enjoy it? Oh, yeah, you were the one with the poster. Yeah, I noticed you there. Your glasses are crooked. I noticed that. One of your shoes fell off, yeah. Yeah, I remember you. Yeah, you were there. You had a poster. It said elect, what did it say? Dewey, I believe. You're the last of the Thomas E. Dewey Club people. Citizens for Dewey, right? Well, did you enjoy that? Yeah, they were gathered around there. It was a pretty wild scene and had a good time. Well, anyway, thanks for calling, right? Yeah. Hey, George, makes you wonder. Well, I suppose if we stick with it, Herb. Yeah. Speaking of sticking with it, though, I've just like every 20th century person, I've had my share of excitement with cars, and I think the idea of a throwaway car is a step in the right direction. Don't you? Absolutely. I really, especially in that garage that I keep my garage in. Because they're doing everything they can to work in that direction. That I think they're a very forward-looking garage. In fact, when I first got my car, it was a Ferrari 12-cylinder, big baby, 4.1. And after I parked it in that garage for 3 weeks, it was down to Fiat size. It's now a Fiat because of the way they park them. And, they bang them in and everything. I had to get relicensed and all that because it's very small now. And it's getting smaller every week. It's getting very compact. And, of course, I think part of the problem of living in the modern time is that there's no room for anything. No elegance. You can't conceivably have any elegance. Like the Hanging Gardens of Babylon would be totally impractical here in New York. Although Babylon is practical, the Hanging Gardens, no. Although I think we could fit Gomorrah in here if we decide, hey, wouldn't that be kind of a great pageant to have reenactment of a Saturday night in Gomorrah? A historical pageant, of course, very educational film, and might be interesting. I don't know whether many of you, we seem to be having trouble in there. Is it okay in there? Fine. You got the police all set now? All right, good. Everything's ready. But we've all had our moments of excitement with cars. Almost every one of us. I wonder how many people walking around right now, this minute. I'm going to ask a rhetorical question. It shouldn't be asked, I suppose, in front of nice ladies with blue hair. If you got something, give me a little of that culture music in there, Herb, please. No, the first one. No, that's nice. That's nice, but that's a holdover from the John Wingate show. I want something good here. Very good, very good. Good, hit that thing. Hit that thing. I don't think many of us have yet come to grips with the importance of the car in modern civilization. We complain a lot about traffic and smog and, pollution and crud and all that stuff. But very few people have really looked at the importance of the car and the development of the race, what it's had to do with the population explosion and so on. And so tonight, this very concerned radio station takes time out in its busy schedule of hurrying, bustling public service to salute the car as a major force in 20th century genetics. Yes, she's singing about that now. That's it, that's right. He just mentioned that genetics is something that often cause people to get very sick around the gills. No, Papa is not involved in this, honey. No. I said no. Stop it. Stop it. You start this gang once. Get him off my back. I said stop it. Okay. All right. It's the kvetching show now. Listen to this kvetcher. She's singing now. Very sad story. The song is a salute to a very sad song. There it is. It's coming on big now. It's a salute to the people who make Twinkies. And he's bewailing the fact that no longer are banana Twinkies available in his neighborhood. And it's due to the standardization of man and his constant pursuit of mass and mass and mass. He's now singing about the defeat of the square bottle, which used to be part of the Thunderbird wine picture and is now gone forever. That's right. All right. Okay. All right, fellas, go ahead. Come on, I've got enough kosher salami. I don't need any more. Come on, cut it out. But we would like to say here that tonight we're going to take the time to salute all people who are listening to us at this moment who were conceived in an automobile. Oh, no, that's a true public service. That's certainly not a minority group. It's probably the largest majority group that we have. However, they rarely, like the silent American, they are rarely heard of. But nevertheless, they people our land. They have marched forward and out into the West. Manifest destiny. And they're the ones that caused us to buy Alaska. They're the ones that caused California to become the cheeseburger capital of the Western world. Yes, tonight we take time out to salute all people who are in our listening audience, which is the vastest listening audience in all of America. It is, really. Scares you, but it is. All of those people who are listening tonight who were conceived in the 20th century modern American automobile. Thank you. Makes you feel warm to have a salute to you personally, doesn't it? Are you ever curious about where it actually did happen? Or don't you like to think about things like that? But all jesting aside, that wasn't much of a jest, was it? Man. But, I've had my times, like everybody else had a time. Everybody's got car stories. You stop a walking around 20th century guy in the street and just tap him on the shoulder and say, tell me your car stories. And like old ancient seamen, the thing about old sailors of the past, when the sea was a way of life, and practically every second Englishman went to sea, that the sea tale was a very common story. Everybody had stories of the sea. And so it is with cars. Although it's not yet been solidified, I think by the year, if Nader gets his way, there won't be any cars by, say, the year 2000. And by that time, historically, it will be very important, and people will be collecting great romantic car stories. There will be a Conrad arise. There will be a Conrad by the year 2010. And he will tell and spin tales of great cross-country trips in his Buick Electra. And, of course, they won't even believe it in those days. The new, it'll come along. Everybody will be sent from here to there in a tube or something, a pneumatic, a very antiseptic tube, totally safe and free, and will be kind of an extension, kind of an elongated womb, so that you'll always be safe and carried in fluid. And, the whole thing of safety will be the final statement. I think that our age, and Nader's so almost characteristic of it, our age is the nervous age. Great, years ago they used to have the age of reason, the age of good feeling. Gee, that must have been a wild time. Can you imagine guys walking on the street? One guy says to the other, "Hey, it's kind of good to be alive at this time, Hegaziah." And he says, yes, it certainly is, Alexander, it is. They had names like that back in those days. Very rarely did they have nicknames. If they did, it was stuff like Hezekiah the Scaly, or sometimes like something like that, or Hunrath the Bald. And so the two are walking around, and one says to the other, Hezekiah, it is a good thing to know, forsooth indeedeth, it is a good thing to know, methinketh, to be alive in the age of good feeling. And Alexander says, yep, that is truth. Indeed, thou sayest the truth. Indeed, meest also feelest this way. Indeed, mo. So we should congratulate each other that we're living in the age of nervousness. Everybody's very nervous about everything. And nervous about everything, particularly things like sex. This is the most nervous sexual age, in spite of the fact that magazines keep telling us that there's a sexual freedom and promiscuity. This is a questionable thought. I think there's more writing about it, but I'm inclined to believe that the action has declined. There's more movies, but I think the proliferation of how-to books, the Dr. David Rubin syndrome, is very interesting, because it denotes a great nervousness. It really is. Grasshoppers don't ask questions about it. They do it. I mean, no grizzly bear writes all the things that you have been wondering about hibernation have been scared to ask. They just dig a hole and pull it in after them and go to sleep. So this is the nervous age, and Mr. Nader, I think, is part and parcel of it. And there was a time, though, when people were not as nervous, and hence things were very much more uninhibited. For example, I'll tell you a brief horror story. No, I better not. One of the great moments I had happen in a car. One of the exciting things about cars, they're like horses, see. If you get really involved with your car, you also like a horse. A horse can be your best friend in the world. And one day you come in with the oats, and you're giving him the shredded wheat or whatever it is that horses eat. Shredded wheat. He likes an omelet once in a while in the morning, maybe a little burgundy. And you come in with the stuff for the horse. And here he is. He's been your great favorite horse for 40 years. And you bend down to give him the omelet, you're straightening up the stall there, and boom! You find yourself doing unauthorized solo flight, in spite of the fact that you have not had any dual instruction You are now 40 feet above the ground doing chandelles, and very painful ones. Horses do this. You know that, Herb, don't you? So do cars. Very much so. I'm in the middle of a gigantic traffic jam one time when I was a kid, you know, and I'm with this girl. And this is why I believe in disposable cars. Because I got so mad at that car that night that I almost disposed of it right there in the middle of Michigan Boulevard in Chicago, you know. Man, if I'd had a hand grenade, I'd have ended it. I was driving along, and I was all dressed up going to this date. You know, we're going to go to the some elegant place like the Palm Grove Inn, after which we're going to attend one of the elegant theatrical experiences at the Oriental Theater, where we will see, an elegant movie in full color and all. And afterwards, we will go out to the Red Rooster and have cheeseburgers. And I'm all dressed up. We are waiting at a light. It would be like waiting for a light at the corner of 47th and 5th Avenue. Right in the middle of it all. 12,000 cars behind me, 12,000 cars ahead of me. All these people are moving towards these elegant eating places. I was on my way to the elegant eating place. I'm all dressed up. I put the car in first. The light changes. See, I put the car in first. And there was a shudder. This is my car. This is my friend. Never let me down. Well, let's put it this way. It had never done this to me before. There was a shudder. It just went, "Unk." And it was a momentary pause and a tremendous crash under the car. But not in the car, under the car, like something hitting the ground. Just boom, I heard under there. I thought somebody threw something at the car. Well, the guy immediately behind me goes, "Wah, wah, wah. Get out of the way, will you? For crying out loud, a chair, let the lights change." I couldn't go. The car refused. The motor kept running. The motor was running great, but the car did not go. So I jumped out of the car and looked under it, and there I beheld a sight which to this day I have never forgotten. I guess I shouldn't tell you, because it could destroy your belief in things that are. On the street, Michigan Boulevard, the middle of the loop, on a Saturday night in Chicago, me dressed in my Robert Hall Tony Martin suit, looking elegant, with my roll collar, my Mel Torme type roll collar, with the knit tie, with my Tom McCann saddle shoes, the whole bit. Under my car, lying on the road there like a dead wart, like a dead warthog, was the transmission. Have you ever seen a transmission fall right out of a car? Have you? Have you? I have. Fell right out. It weighs 4 tons. It also fell out, took the drive shaft, too. Drive shaft is laying down there, broken right in the middle. Well, there I sat. I got in the car and I said, "Well, I'll send you home in a bus." The cars are honking behind me. She says, "What's the matter? Something wrong?" I said, "Well, yes." She said, "Did it break?" "Did the car break?" I said, "Well, yes." It was one of the worst nights of my life, getting my car off of Michigan Boulevard with that great transmission lying there. It weighed 4 tons. It was all the oil and grease was pouring out of it. It was at that point that a lot of the bloom began to come off the rose. I began to see things in a clearer light. I understood what Ahab was talking about when he stood on the poop deck there, if you'll excuse the expression, and shook his fist at God and went after white whales. I said white whales, or was it white elephants that he chased? I don't know. Speaking of white, this is WOR New York. We have Lester Smith in the news coming up.
The news in detail. Brooklyn report they've